everybody, and welcome back to the Wax Podcast. This is Dana with DV Auto Detailing in Massachusetts. And today I wanted to talk to you about a specific chemical brand that I use for professional detailing. And I think most people should at least consider this brand. I obviously, in a previous episode, I did talk about, don't be a brand snob, all that stuff. Sure, I understand that. In terms of professional detailing with my business, I have found this brand to be the most economical, and at the same time, their products are great. They all work great. At the same time, just about every brand that you use, all their stuff is, for the most part, going to be very effective for your job. Yeah, not every company is going to have 100% of all their stuff is going to work for you, right? But you may have a 90 or 95% chance that everything that they use is everything that they create that you use is going to work well for you and make great results, right? For your professional detailing. So I have discovered a brand like 2-3 years ago that really sort of really changed the way that I do things big time. And for those of you guys out there like me, who started off as enthusiasts, right? And when you're enthusiasts, what are you used to? Enthusiast products that you buy off the shelf, right? Because that's what that's what you've been exposed to, right? So you're used to, Meguiar's and Turtle Wax and Chemical Guys and, all that stuff, right? But you might not be as familiar with, some of the other more industrial brands that are out there. So the way that I see it, and from, again, I've been doing this for a long time, is there's basically like two different kinds of car chemical brands that are out there. You have the enthusiast brands that's their market that they for the most part cater to, right? And then you have the industrial brands. And this is stuff that you usually can't really get at a store, right? Or you have to know about it, and you either have to get it, directly from them, or to get it from some sort of a distributor, and have the stuff either delivered to you, or you have to go pick it up at a warehouse or something like that, right? So the big difference is when you are buying a brand that's meant for retail for the enthusiast, you're usually paying significantly more money for that product because, these brands are paying for that head end. You know what I mean? They're paying to have multiple different kinds of bottles, different labels. They got more people that have to work to make this stuff and package it and send it to you, or they have to work with stores to get it sent to Walmart, O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Advanced Auto, Pep Boys, whatever, right? So there's a lot more that they do that they have to pay for to get these products out to you. These industrial brands, as I like to call them, they don't have all that overhead. They're not doing any of that. They have commercial accounts, right? So they're selling to professional detailers. They're selling to car washes, car dealerships, and their products might also be used in other applications. So they might be selling their products to, say, companies that clean and restore rugs, or a janitorial company, or janitorial type services, or whatever, right? Anything else that requires cleaning. Okay, so that's the thing with those kinds of brands. All right, so here we go. The moment that you've all been waiting for. What am I talking about? I am referring to superior products. Okay, so if you've ever heard of them, or if you've ever used them, you are well aware about what a ridiculous bargain that you're getting when you're buying from them. And they are a small family-owned business. They really don't do much advertising. It's more of a word-of-mouth kind of a thing. I found out about them because I was watching a detailer on YouTube talking about their coverall, which is one of their big tire shine products that they sell in multiple variations, but you can get at the store in an aerosol can, right? It's a silicone-based tire shine, long lasting, wicked glossy stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, I've never heard of this company. Let me take a look at them. Well, I'm like blown away by how inexpensive this stuff is. I'm like, okay, well, how do I get this stuff? How do I figure this stuff out? Well, here is the magic with this stuff. So you can go to their website, which is superiorproducts.com. All their stuff is listed there. You can buy everything. And it comes in different sizes too. Now, typically when you're buying from these more commercial industrial brands, they don't sell stuff in 16-ounce spray bottles, again, like you would get at the auto parts store, right? That's not what you're going to get. Usually it's all in gallons or 5-gallon and 55-gallon drums because they're selling this stuff in large quantities to places that go through chemicals pretty fast. Again, dealerships, professionals, cleaning companies, whatever, right? That's what their market is. And because of that, because they're selling this stuff in high volume, they can sell it for less. And it's kind of that same concept of, when you're at the store and you're buying whatever, a small pack of diapers for your baby, or you could go to like the big box store like a Costco or a BJ's and you get the big thing of the diapers and it costs significantly less, right? That's how it is. The more you buy in bulk, the less it's going to cost you, right? And you may not get that when you're buying from an enthusiast brand. Something like I'll give you a good example, Griot's Garage. I love Griot's Garage. And of course, their main target is the enthusiast. But many of these companies like Griot's Garage do sell their products in a gallon, right? Or maybe 5 gallons, right? But guess what? Almost every Griot's Garage gallon is like $50. And to me, that is not particularly economical when you are trying to, when you're detailing for money, okay? It's one thing when you want to buy that stuff for yourself and you're spending that time doing the therapy and all that on your own car. Great. When you're doing this as a business, the whole point, like any business, is you want to put as little money as possible into your overhead, okay? And that means your chemicals, your tools, whatever. So that way you can do your job and you don't want to spend too much money on your job. So if you're buying an expensive chemical and suddenly that chemical is like, whatever, getting close to $1 an ounce or whatever, that is going to be, in the long run, taking away the amount of profit that you're going to be making. All right. So you want to maximize the amount of profit while spending the least amount of money on your overhead. And your overhead, again, would be chemicals, tools, what have you, right? So with that, Superior Products, I found, is the perfect brand for professional detailing. Perfect brand, okay? They make really good, really incredibly affordable stuff, and the stuff works great, okay? There are a couple of wish list items which I wish that they would sell, and I'm going to get into that soon. But I want to kind of go over some of the products that they sell. Now, I honestly, I have almost everything that they sell. They sell a ton of different cleaners, soaps, degreasers, dressings, what have you. And they sell stuff that's, in gallons, 5 gallons, whatever. And they sell a couple of products that are only in 5 gallon or 55 gallon or what have you, because they're meant for car washes and stuff like that. So like they would have some colored soaps or degreasers or whatever, which is primarily geared and marketed towards the car wash industry, right? So at the end of the day, too, when you're doing your business, you want to consolidate your chemicals, right? Obviously, those of us who are enthusiasts, like myself, you're cluttering the hell out of your cabinets and your shelves with tons and tons of 16-ounce products of every little thing you're seeing at the store. And of course, I've had a whole talk about this in an episode about detail addiction. It's an issue, and I get it, and I have that issue too, right? But what I like about Superior Products is for a small cost, they do have a couple of small sample kits. They have one sample kit where you can get 8 ounces of some of the most popular chemicals. There's like a soap, a degreaser, a cleaner, there's spray wax, so on and so forth, that you throw into a bottle and you dilute it with some water. And there you go. You're ready to rock and roll with all those different products to choose from. And again, you're definitely not going to break the bank with any of their products whatsoever. So I wanted to go over some of some of the products that I use regularly. Again, like I said, I own almost everything that they have. Okay, and the great thing too is if you even just want to try some stuff, you can get this stuff in like a 16-ounce bottle. Almost everything you can get, excuse me, in a 16-ounce bottle, right? Now, like I said, okay, so you might be asking yourself, how do I obtain this stuff, right? Well, you can obviously go to superiorproducts.com, right? And you go and you pick out your chemicals, whatever you want to buy. And like I said, there's a variety of different sizes you can get this stuff at, and you can get this stuff shipped right to your door. Thing is, they're going to bend you over when it comes to shipping. The shipping from them is pricey, and it's because they're sending out heavy chemicals to you. You know, gallons of this stuff. It's heavy, and it costs more to send it to you, right? As opposed to once in a blue moon, like once or twice a year, they'll have a day where everything is free shipping. But you know, you may not have to wait for that. Usually, all their sales and stuff, like most companies, they're right around Thanksgiving time for Black Friday, right? That's usually when you're going to get a free shipping deal or whatever out of them. So, what is the better way to get their stuff? Well, here's a good secret for you that I think every single one of you should do this. All right, you guys should get into this. They have a partnership with O'Reilly Auto Parts where you can get almost everything that they sell straight from O'Reilly Auto Parts, where they have their chemicals at different distribution centers all over the country, and there's different ways that you can get this stuff. So I'll go through everything. Okay, so one way is you have to go onto their website at superiorproducts.com, get a piece of paper and a pen, or put it on your laptop, right? On Microsoft Word or something, and you have to write down the number, right? So for instance, let's just say you wanted a gallon of their car soap, right? One of their standard car soaps called Dirt Buster. The part number is C60-1 for a gallon of it, right? So it's C60- or it's 16 or 5, right? So 16 ounces or 5 gallons, whatever, right? That's how part numbers work. And when you get into this stuff, you'll start to really memorize a lot of the part numbers that go to these things. So Superior Products, on their website, find out what you want, write down the part number for each one that you want. Then you got to go to the store, and it's very likely that you have an O'Reilly's near you. I'm sorry if you don't. That sucks, but there's usually you do. There's like 4 of them that are around me, right? In central Massachusetts, in the Worcester County area. There's quite a few. And I go to the one that's over in Marlboro, Mass, because it's like a hop, skip, and a jump right down from my full-time job, right? So it's wicked close, right off of Route 20. But there's a whole bunch. There's one in Worcester. I think there's one in Framingham, if you're in Massachusetts, right? But there's a few of them that are around here. So you go down there, and you got to either talk to the manager or their ordering guy. And they're what's called a line code, which means every manufacturer has what's called a line code. It's usually 3 letters, right? And for Superior Products, it's SCP, right? So that's the line code. So you go over there and you say, all right, all these products are all under line code SCP, and I want part number C60-1, C46-1, whatever, right? So you tell them what they want, what you want, and they'll order for you. And depending on like what time of the day you get there, either they'll have it for you ready. Like if you go there first thing in the morning, you'll probably have that stuff by lunchtime, right? Or you get it the first thing the next morning, which is incredible. All these people out there who want to, usually when you're buying gallons of stuff, right, you can't get that stuff down at the store. So it doesn't matter what you want. If you want Adams polishes, you want anything, you got to buy the stuff online, and you got to wait several days for it to get to you. Or you're like, oh, I got Amazon Prime. Well, you know what? You got to pay for Amazon Prime. So you got to think about putting that into your overhead too, okay? You can get this stuff shipped to the store for free, and you just go and you pick it up either that day or the next morning. And that is it. Easy peasy. Or if you don't want to go into the store and talk to the manager, you can do it all online. at OReillyAuto.com. Okay? Wicked easy to do. Go into the search bar on the website, and first and foremost, just type in SCP, hit enter, and everything from Superior Products will come up. Usually it starts off with the gallon stuff. So again, all their the greasers, their soaps, everything, the tire shines, their stain remover, everything and anything that you could think of. It's right then and there, okay? But let's just say you're looking for specific products. Well, again, too, go on the Superior Products website, write down what you want, then go back to O'Reilly Auto Parts and type in SC. Let's just say you wanted this gallon of soap called Dirt Buster, right? Again, it's line code SCP, part number C60-1. So you go in here, you type in SCP, C60-1, or just type in C60 if you want to see all the other sizes that they have. Put that into the search bar at OReillyAuto.com. Boom, there you go. Everything is right then and there. And you could either have it shipped to your home, and depending on how much you spend, you could have it shipped to you for free. Again, you may have to wait a couple days. Or, I'm looking at the website right now. I'm looking at Dirt Buster. Or I could pick it up for free and pick it up by noon the next day. So, again, if you're somebody where, you run out of something and you forgot to pick it up or whatever, and you are totally out of a certain product, oh man, what do I do? What do I do? Do I have to go to Pep Boys or whatever, or Walmart and go pick up, a 16 ounce or whatever's over there, and you're getting raked over the coals for it? No, because you get this stuff wicked fast. That's what I love about this company, Superior Products, and their deal with O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's great. I'm at the point where the manager at the Marlboro O'Reilly's, he knows me by name. He knows exactly what I order. So when Superior Product stuff comes in, and as soon as I walk in the door, he goes, oh yeah, this gallon's definitely for you, right? Because he knows that I'm the guy that comes in and orders this stuff. So it's great. I love this system. I love everything about it. And like I said, it's stupid cheap. Most of their gallon products, most of them are between $10 and $20-ish, give or take, depending on what it is. Or maybe even less. All right? So a lot of this stuff is, most of it is right around that $10 range, give or take. That's a steal. In the world of enthusiast products, again, we're talking, even when it comes to the Meguiar's Detailer line, there's stuff I find is a little bit more on the pricey side, right? So the majority of it, let's just say you're talking about a company like P&S, which is technically they're an industrial company too. They're kind of starting to get into that retail-ish area, right? But they're still somewhat into that commercial because they just got boomed into a lot of popularity because of Bead Maker and some of their other products that are out there right now, right? So same thing too. Their products are a lot cheaper. But in the whole, on average, a gallon of most products are around $30 to $35, okay? So if you can get their stuff, around $10, I mean, that's a win. Really. It's common. It's absolute. It just totally makes sense to get this stuff for you. You know what I mean? And again, too, you got to think about it like this. A lot of this stuff, a lot of these chemicals, again, they're meant for industrial applications. So they're not going to smell like tropical mangoes or French vanilla coffee or all the fancy scents that you're used to with your enthusiast brands. Some of the stuff may be on the, like the cleaners. Some of them are caustic. Some of them aren't. So they might have more of, chemical smell, whatever. Some of them smell great. Dirt Buster smells like cherries. Their water-based dressing smells like melons. You know what I mean? Their spray wax smells like grapes. Fantabulous, right? I'm happy as can be about that. But just be aware that some of it just has a chemical smell. Like most of their cream waxes, right? Their liquid waxes, they don't have fancy smells to them, right? But again, they're catering to a market that you're not supposed to care about that stuff. You're there to get results for your customers, right? And that's what I'm happy about. So in any case, I want to talk about some of my favorite stuff that they make. All right, some of their absolute favorite stuff. I had to kind of write this stuff down, and I had to think about this. And this all comes down to consolidation, okay? So again, like I was talking about earlier, when you are doing this stuff, you don't want to have a cluttered mess of all kinds of 50 different products that you're using on one vehicle, okay? You can literally get it down to where you're using maybe 5 to 6, and that's it. That's really all you need to do basic details, okay? And again, we're talking about regular basic details. Not, you're not doing paint correction and all that baloney, okay? I'm talking about if you're just like I'm, what I'm trying to do here. And again, too, if you're just a guy that's just trying to do this on the side, you're just doing regular details, okay? Doing exterior, interior cleaning, okay? So I kind of had to jot down sort of the different things that you would do on a vehicle for a standard detail, and then what products I would use. So, anything between like a cleaner, right? To do your pre-soak, to do your wheels and tires, right? And to clean your interior, stuff like that. And then you obviously need a car soap to do a contact wash. You could use that for your clay lubricant. And then you might need a drying aid, right? So if you're like me and it's the summertime, you may be working out in the hot sun. What can you use to prevent water spotting? And then there's a real basic wax that you can buy to just like a regular spray wax, just to put a little bit extra shine on the vehicle at the end of the day as your last step protection. And then you need a dressing for your interior and your exterior, right? Oh, a nice water-based dressing. And then lastly, to do your glass, all right? And then for your interior, you need one product that'll clean everything. It'll clean all your door panels, all your plastics, your leather, all your stains, everything that's in your carpet, your headliner, all that stuff. All you need is really one product to do all that. Same thing. Use the same water-based dressing that you used on your exterior, use it on your interior. Just dilute it, right? So again, most of these products are all, everything. No, I'm sorry, not everything. Almost everything on this list is meant to be heavily diluted. Everything except one, okay? And then same thing, your glass cleaner, okay? So I'm going to talk about some of my absolute favorite products. These are, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, these are 6 products, and you really only need 5, but I'm putting the other one in there just in case, But, all right, so let's go into this here. So my favorite products that they sell is a cleaner. First of all, we're going to start with a cleaner. You use this as your pre-soak on your vehicle. You could use this thing to clean up your wheels and tires, your engine bay, all that stuff, right? Door jams. And on the inside, you can use this to literally clean everything on the inside of your vehicle. Everything, okay? And I'm talking about none other than Pink Perfection. I love Pink Perfection. This stuff is outstanding. Again, it's pink. You can get it from their on their website as a 16 ounce. You can get it as a gallon, 5 gallon, 55 gallon drum, so on and so forth, right? So it is line code line code SCP with part number C67, and you can get it at C67-1 on the O'Reilly's auto parts store, right? So you can go ahead and pick this up at the store whenever you want. And a gallon of this stuff, 1 gallon, is $10.49. At least where I'm looking at this right now for my region, right? So this is a $10 gallon of this stuff. And you know what? When I use it on interiors, I am usually diluting the stuff 10 to 1. So a $10 gallon equals 10 gallons of ready-to-use interior cleaner. That's $1 a gallon. And on average, I have come to figure out that when I'm doing an interior alone, I'm usually using around anywhere between 20 and 24 ounces of ready-to-use Pink Perfection. That's 10 to 1 Pink Perfection, right? So that's what I'm using to do my interiors. That is stupid cheap. Stupid cheap. It's really hard to beat that. Really hard to beat that. And then if you're using this on the exterior, again, I would dilute this stuff 4 to 1. Put it into your foam cannon, foam down your car real quick with this stuff, and then rinse it off pretty quick, okay? Use this stuff as your wheel and tire cleaner. Use this stuff to clean up your engine compartments. Stuff is outstanding, and it's a really good bug remover too. Stuff is outstanding. I love this stuff. Yeah, it does have a chemically scent. Doesn't smell like roses, right? But it stuff is absolutely outstanding. I love it. Again, part C67. I can't live without this stuff. It's outstanding, right? So like I said, pre-soak wheels and tires, clean up your entire interior, engine bays, everything, right? So that's one product right there. Then you're going to need your car soap. And I would suggest using Dirt Buster. Dirt Buster is it's a pH neutral car soap. This stuff suds up crazy good. It is wicked, wicked slick, and it is also dirt cheap. I love this stuff. And it smells like cherries. And you know what? If you don't like the smell of the cherries, you can buy the exact same product that has no color and no scent. And that is called Wash and Shine. All right? So you can get either Dirt Buster or Wash and Shine. They also sell a very similar version of this stuff that's also cherry scented called Cherry Foam, which they sort of boosted up the foam properties of it so you can toss the stuff into a foam cannon and it lays down a stupid amount of foam. If you can, you can see some of the stuff up on my Instagram page up at DV Auto Detailing MA, and stuff is crazy good. And I use cold water through a cheap $100 Sunjoe pressure washer. Nothing crazy. I use the MJCC foam cannon with the 1-to-1 orifice. But stuff is crazy good. I love it. And this stuff cleans too. There's a lot of car soaps out there that they're just there really for lubrication more than anything when you're doing your contact wash. But this stuff legit cleans. If you take your foam cannon and you foam the stuff down on your car and you let the stuff sit for a couple minutes, it's going to legit take stuff off this car, right? It's unreal how good this stuff works. And it works on grease and grime and road film. I love this stuff. It's crazy good to the point where I recently just bought a 5-gallon jug of this stuff for $40. A 5-gallon jug for $40. That's insane. Now, you might start off with a 1-gallon, right? It is, again, line code SCP, part number C60-1. Also, $10.49. I'm usually using maybe 2 to 3 ounces in my foam cannon, and then I'll throw 1 to 2 ounces in my bucket. I do a two bucket method as my contact. This stuff, you get some stuff for years and years and years at the garage that I worked at, we were using Meguiar's Hyper Suds, right? Which is it's what, $40 for a gallon. And yeah, I understand it's wicked concentrated and you use a very little amount to get the results you want. But I find that the foam, and you probably get this too, where you'll put some car soap into your bucket and the foam sizzles away wicked fast, right? It fizzles out really fast. And that's what I always found with Hyper Suds, right? This stuff, this Dirt Buster works so good and it just stays foamy. Or then if you just quickly take your hose and your pressure washer and you put it into the bucket real quick and give it a quick squirt, boom, you got a ton of suds. It reactivates. Stuff is wicked good, wicked good, right? I can't say enough good stuff about it. It's great. And I gotta tell you this too. This company's not sponsoring me. They're not paying me a dime to do this or whatever. But I think they're great. I've actually talked to one of their people before on email. They got a bunch of YouTube stuff, and they do a little podcast too. Maybe I got to have them on the show one of these days. If you want to hear about them, let me know. Tell me in the comments or shoot me an email at thewaxdetailingpodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, that's Dirt Buster. So let's keep on trucking here, right? So next up, let's just say you need a drying aid, okay? And you could even use this as your last step protection if you wanted to. So if you're doing something like fleet vehicles, like you're doing car washes, like if you're doing trucks, vans, anything where you're doing like a bunch of vehicles all at once, or you're at like an office building and you're doing a whole bunch of vehicles at one time, this would be great. Not only as a drying aid, but also as your last step protection. And with that, I'm talking about Formula 4 spray wax. Okay, now it's somewhat misleading in the terms of the name spray wax. It's technically not. I don't know, kind of, sort of, not really a spray wax. It's primarily a drying aid, but it does use polymer protection, and it'll protect your car for a short amount of time. Maybe a week. Maybe 2, give or take, whatever. Right? It's not a long-term wax, but again, if you're doing the real quick stuff, for people you're doing express washes, whatever, just use this, and it saves you an insane amount of time. So you don't have to go back. And so, you're trying to cut down on your steps. And not only are you trying to save money and consolidate your chemicals, but you're also using the stuff to cut down on your time. So you're not spending more time detailing the vehicles, right? So the spray wax stuff, a little bit more expensive. Same thing, line code SCP, part number C84-1. Right now, this stuff lists for $23.99 retail, which is, again, I think ridiculously cheap. If you look at other drying aids that are out there and they want like $40, give or take, for this kind of stuff. So what you would do is after you wash the car, right, entirely, if you do your contact wash, everything, and you're about to do your very last rinse of the vehicle, you could do one of two things. I dilute the stuff 10-1. Again, 10-1. You can't beat it at that price, right? You put it either in a spray bottle and you spray down the car, right? And then you take your, let it sit for 10 seconds. And then you take your pressure washer and you spray the car down, right? You might be used to some products like 303 or Sonax that have spray and rinse sealants, right? Works the same way. You spray on, rinse off, and that's it. You're done. So this really works great for that. And then, like I said, it has a little tiny bit of protection, and it actually adds a really good gloss to the car too, like no joke. So what this stuff does is you could have a flat surface, right, like your hood or whatever that has no protection on it. Spray this stuff down, and then rinse it off with your pressure washer, and then it'll bead right up, and it sort of softens the water a little bit too. So it really, really helps with eliminating any possibility of water spots on the car. And if you're in an area with hard water, which I have, like I do my detailing at my house. I have a well, right? So I have hard water, right? So I'm always dealing with hard water spots. And then when I found out about Formula 4 as a drying aid, holy macaroni baloney. I'm like, Jesus, I see the light, So on top of that, it's dirt cheap. You can't beat it. Now, if you wanted to go the extra step or you don't plan to use a drying aid, what else can you use as a great last step protection? So they make a quite a few different liquid waxes, right? But when I'm detailing professionally, I don't use liquid waxes that often. I usually prefer to use sprays just because it's a little bit quicker to use, to apply, and all that stuff. So they make two spray waxes. Again, not terribly long performance. Again, you're probably going to get at best about 3 months out of these products, right? But they're both great, and there's one in particular that I like the most. All right, so they have two. Like I said, they have two that are out there, and one is called Easy Shine. Right? It's purple. It smells like grapes. Same thing, stupid cheap. It's less than $20 a gallon. It's like $18 and change, right? Stuff is great, and it works great. Again, you could use it as a quick detailer, quick spray wax, right? This is actually what I use as a last step protection when I'm cleaning door jambs. When I'm near the end of the detail, I'm just really doing the door jambs real quick. That's what I'll use. Stuff works mint. Smells good too, right? What I prefer to use is their Show Car Shine, which is also another spray wax that they make. It's clear, doesn't really have much of a smell to it. It's kind of weird. It almost kind of like Formula 4. Formula 4 almost smells like shellac, almost like a polyurethane kind of a smell. And I find that the Show Car Shine is it's a little bit of a lighter scent of that, right? Not a bad smell at all. It makes me feel like I'm going into a new house with fresh hardwood floors, right? But what I like about this stuff, it to me, I think it's a totally different product. I don't know what they put in this stuff. I have no idea. But of course, when you use an Easy Shine, yeah, good gloss, all that stuff, right? There is something about Show Car Shine, man. I don't know what to tell you, but the gloss is through the roof. Doesn't matter what you put it on. You can put this stuff on unpainted black plastic trim, like where your cowl is, where your wipers are, or if you have unpainted plastic mirror caps for your side mirrors or bumpers or anything like that. This stuff is stupid glossy. To compare it to a product, Dream Maker for P&S. Think of a product like Dream Maker, except it's significantly less expensive. And you can get it in a gallon or a 5-gallon if you wanted to, right? This one you wouldn't dilute. It's ready to use. But this stuff, I don't know what to tell you. I love this stuff to death. I just recently bought another gallon of this stuff. But if you have a vehicle, again, let's just say you're doing over the summer I did a Dodge Challenger. If you have a car that maybe has like a really bold color, all right, like orange or red or whatever, and you want to make this thing really pop, holy macaroni, use Show Car Shine. And again, Show Car Shine, it's part number P102-1. P102-1. This stuff is $18.99 a gallon, okay? Compared to Dream Maker, which really doesn't have much of any protection in it whatsoever. It's just there for the gloss. What is that, $35-$40 for that gallon, right? This stuff is $18. It's under $20 for a gallon. And free to ship it to your house if you buy a couple different things, or you get it sent there and you get to pick it up at the store, right, for free. You can't beat that. Stuff is outstanding. I love it. Same thing too. Protection is right around that 3-month max time. But again, if you're just doing express details or regular standard details, you can't go wrong with this stuff. I love it. Okay, moving on. We're going to go to tire dressing. And a lot of people have heard about this stuff. There's many different ways to apply it, different ways to dilute it for different applications. Then I'm talking about their Aquagloss. So Aquagloss, right? What this is, it's a green melon scented dressing, right? So when you get it, it's kind of a little more on the thick side, straight out of the gate. So I would take this stuff, ooze a little bit onto like a tire brush, and that's what I use to apply it onto tires. If you watch some of my videos up on my YouTube channel, you'll see that, right? And I'm almost always using Aquagloss every time. And this is part number F78-1. A little bit more expensive, but that is due to because it is a water-based dressing, and water-based dressings are traditionally more expensive than many of the other products that you're going to have to use. So it's $35.99 for a gallon of Aquagloss. But when you use this for interiors, I usually dilute this stuff 4-to-1. Again, you're getting 4 gallons of this stuff, ready to use for interiors. So after I clean an interior, I take an applicator or just a microfiber towel, and I'll just apply the stuff in. And you'll see there's other videos of people up on YouTube. They're diluting the stuff, 4-to-1 or 1-to-1. They're putting it into a pneumatic spray gun, and they're spraying down interiors or they're spraying down tires, which really cuts down on that time. I think I might even start doing that. There's a Harbor Freight over in Worcester. I might go get one of those sprays. I got my air compressor. I might just start doing that. Way easier to do. Again, you can use this stuff on your tires. It's water-based, so you can use it on your engine compartments. Use it on all your plastic trim on the outside. Use it on every surface on the inside, so all your leather, plastic, vinyl, all that stuff, right? And again, you can dilute it to decrease the shine if you want to. If you have a client that does not want a whole lot of shine in their interior, go ahead and dilute it maybe 10-to-1 or 8-to-1, right? And then you'll have more of a semi-gloss or more of a matte finish. But the whole point is, no matter what, it's just good to offer a UV protectant on the interior of the vehicle. Every single interior detail that I do, I always put down a last step protection, being some sort of UV inhibiting product on there, no matter what. I mean, it could even be, you go ahead and use Easy Shine if you wanted to, or Show Car Shine if you wanted to on all your plastic trim and all your leather and stuff. Feel free, go right ahead, because either way, you're putting down some form of UV protectant, right? So that's why I would absolutely suggest using this stuff. Again, too, for the price, yeah, it's hard to beat, right? So we're coming down to the end over here. What is one of the very last things that you do in your detail? It's glass, right? They have a concentrated glass cleaner. It's blue, and it's called Clearview, right? So you can use it on the inside and the outside, and they suggest to dilute this stuff 5-to-1, right? So you're going to get 5 gallons of this stuff for a very low price. And so looking at this stuff up on the O'Reilly website, it is part number G70-1 for Clearview, right? And it is $16.99 per gallon. Again, too. So you're basically getting 5 gallons of ready-to-use product for $16.99. Hard to beat, right? So those are the 6 products. Again, too, they make a multitude of different products. Like literally every other company out there. They sell a lot of different stuff. They sell several different degreasers and cleaners and stuff like that. But if you know, in my experience with using almost every single product that they use, that's what I would suggest, is using these 6 products if you needed to literally do a basic detail. Again, they have compounds, polishes. They have a ceramic coating, which I haven't used yet, but it's dirt cheap. It's like $70, and you can get it on sale sometimes too. And I've heard really good things about it, right? So they have solvents. They have just about everything that you could want, right? So again, too, I'm going to go over that real quick. So Pink Perfection, Dirt Buster, Formula 4 Spray Wax, Show Car Shine Spray Wax, Aqua Gloss, and Clearview. Those are the products from them that I would suggest, right? And I'm going to try to put all the stuff down in the show notes or the description too, so that way you can get into this stuff and check it all out. Now, if you think that wasn't frugal enough for you, if you're even that much more of a penny pincher, and if you have a business, what you can do is go talk to the manager over at O'Reilly's and say, listen, I want to open up a business account. It doesn't cost you anything. You're only there for a couple quick minutes. And what they do is they take your and you don't have the, even if you don't even have a legit legal business with a tax ID number, it doesn't matter. You don't need one. You go in there and just say, hey, I have a small detailing business and I'd like to open up an account. Okay, great. They take down your information, and that's it. So what that does is either you can go into the store and you tell them what you want or call them, right? They're going to set you up with a website called First Call. And that is for people that have accounts with O'Reilly's. You have a username and a password. You go in there. They don't really have an app for it yet. You have to do it on a PC or your a computer browser, right? Like a MacBook or something like that, right? So you go on there and you're gonna get even more money knocked off, and it's not a ton. It's at best like $2 per gallon, but that alone. So let's just say your Pink Perfection or your Car Soap Dirt Busters, $10.49. Sometimes I'll knock off $2. That's $8.40. I mean, God Almighty, $8.49. Not without tax to get into this stuff. I mean, it blows my mind. And to think that and hey, I'll be honest with you. I'll be straight. When I was working at the garage at Side Alley Restorations in Westboro, we were using a lot of Presta and McGuire's detailer line, right? And then Chemical Guys came out, and when I started my own little detailing business, I bought, because it was on sale. I didn't really care about like the Chemical Guys family and all that crap, right? The marketing baloney, right? I didn't care about any of that stuff. It was just like, hey, they had a 25% off sale. And I was like, oh, I never really tried any of this stuff. So let me go ahead and try something. And yeah, gallons were like $40 a piece, man, or more, depending on what you're getting. So, and a lot of it was honestly a little overpriced, in my opinion, right? Not that I want to bash really any brands or anything like that. Plenty of people do for that particular company. The whole main goal of this is to say you want to use the least amount of chemicals to get great results for your customers, and you want those chemicals to cost you the least amount of money, and you want to stretch them as much as you can, right? That's the goal of basically any business, okay? Because it all comes down to how much are you paying for the tools and the products that you need to do your job, and then the money that you're bringing in. All right. So that's what it's all about. And in my personal experience, I've found that Superior Products has been that for me. And if you have an O'Reilly's Auto Parts near you, it is an absolute no-brainer to go down to your O'Reilly Auto Parts store, set up a professional account, and start ordering products from them without question. And again, too, like I said, just start ordering 16 or 32 ounces of the products just to try them out, or get their sampler and try this stuff out. It's wicked cheap. It's not like where you're buying a product that's $50 or more and then you don't like it and then you're screwed. Like, I had a whole episode where I talked about buying chemicals about that. Go ahead and go and give that a listen. All right. Subscribe to the show. All right. But that's it in a nutshell. When it comes to their, again, too, like I said, they make a ton of other stuff. Compounds, polishes, other waxes. They got a whole bunch of different liquid waxes. A quick story about them was I was on the O'Reilly website, and I may have said this before, but I collect paste waxes. I love paste waxes. I know everybody's like, oh, I don't like them. They're old school. I don't like to put the time into it, whatever. I like paste waxes, like on my own vehicles. I'm on the enthusiast side of this stuff, I enjoy collecting them. I like the tins. I like the artwork. I wish I had a shelf where I could display them. I just think they're cool. I like that old school thing about them. They remind me of being a kid in the garage with my old man, with his Camaro or something, or one of his Corvettes, waxing away. That kind of solventy smell that goes in carnauba that goes along with it. Anywho, I'm up on the O'Reilly website, and there's a listing for a Superior Products paste wax, right? Holy macaroni. I go on their website, it's nowhere to be found. And on the O'Reilly site, it says out of stock, right? So there is a Superior Products Facebook group where people who use this stuff or have questions about this stuff, they can go in there, and people from the company interact, all right? So I went in there and I said, hey, I just went on the O'Reilly website and I saw that there was a paste wax, but it's out of stock. I'm just wondering, like, is this discontinued? Is there any way I could get my hands on one? Well, they got in touch with me and they said, hey, we only have like just a few of these things left. We have almost none of these things left. But if you want, send us your, shoot us an email, send us your address, and I'll send you one for free. And I was like, whoa, sure, I'd love that. So I did, and they sent me a can of one of the very last cans of that paste wax for free. And I think that was so cool that they would do that. And yes, I've used it, and I want to do a review on it. For the most part, it's pretty good. Even they admitted that it wasn't a super big selling product, and they think that they have other waxes that outperform it. So they just discontinued it, right? Which is totally understandable. And of course, we live in a day and age where less and less people, it's like VHS, man. I collect VHS, and remember how it was back in the early 2000s where less people are buying VHS and more people are buying DVDs, right? So it's kind of the same concept. So that's how I see how that went. So in any case, I'll do a whole show about that one. I have a whole bunch of products that are discontinued. And I don't know. I want to do like a I don't know, detail discontinued review or something like that. So I got a whole bunch of products that are no longer made, but I still have some, and I would totally like to talk about them. So in any case, that is Superior Products. Please go to O'Reilly's and check some of this stuff out. By the way, too, they do have a small, maybe 4 items that they do sell retail exclusively at O'Reilly's. Like they have their, I think it's like their glass cleaner. They have the Easy Shine spray wax. They have, which one? They have Aqua Gloss ready to use, and I think they have Dark Fury, which used to be called Rage. It's a high pH cleaner, like something you would use as like a bug remover or like a pre-soak for the exterior of your car, right? Maybe as a wheel and tire cleaner, which is what I use a lot as a wheel and tire cleaner too. That stuff is wicked, wicked good. Lots to talk about that stuff on the internet. It's great. Wicked, wicked good stuff. So in any case, like I said, I'm not sponsored by them or any of that baloney. But I just think they're a nice, small company that not a whole lot of people seem to really know about, but this is sort of like the secret sauce of professional detailing, in my opinion. One of those companies that, unfortunately, not a whole lot of people know about, but if you do, then you're golden, right? Because you're saving an insane amount of money on wicked good chemicals, right? That's how it is. So in any case, that's today's show. Thank you again for listening to this episode of the Wax Podcast. This is Dana from DV Auto Detailing. If you like what you're hearing and you want to hear some more stuff, feel free to subscribe either here up on YouTube or on your favorite podcast app, wherever you might be listening. I do have that YouTube page. Subscribe to that too. I got all kinds of videos, and we do product reviews on there, and you get to see me detailing cars. It's good stuff. And then if you want to shoot me an email, go to thewaxdetailingpodcast@gmail.com. I am up on Instagram, The Wax Podcast, with periods in between. Check it out when you get a chance. All right, all kinds of good stuff on there, and also my detailing page at DV Auto Detailing MA for Massachusetts. All right, so there you go, folks. Hope you have a great day. Have a good time detailing out there. Feel free to get in touch. Any questions, whatever, and love to hear from you. All right, have a great one. Take it easy. See you next time.